Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel where today I am back on War Thunder yet again, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Mitsubishi T-2. Now this aircraft is of course the brand new Tier 6 Japanese jet fighter that was added in War Thunder Update 1.87, and well, some people like it, some people not so much. This is at a 10.0 rating. That's the same as the MiG-19, and yet it is quite a considerable amount faster. A lot of people are complaining about this. Personally, I don't see it as a huge issue. On the live server, I have both played this aircraft and faced it. I've faced it in my G91R4. I've done all this sort of stuff, and I've not seen it as a massive issue. Most of the time, the T2 pilots will eventually get into a position where they're attempting to turn fight. This is not what you do with this aircraft. This is a straight line speed aeroplane. The turn fighting capability, no, it is not a turn fighter. It is a straight line speed aircraft. It cannot turn that well in most situations, and against other tier 6s, most if not all other tier 6 aircraft will outturn this and will get on your tail and kill you. So I would advise, do not turn fight unless you 100% know you are going to kill the enemy and that you're not going to get ambushed. Anyway though, let's quickly go over the stats, and then I'll go do a few demonstrations of weapon loads and such, and then we will get into some actual gameplay footage. So as I said, this is a Tier 6 Japanese jet fighter at a current BR of 10.0, crew of 2. Now one interesting feature is that this was originally a training aircraft in real life, and if your main pilot in game is knocked out, the control actually transfers to the secondary pilot. So if you want to kill one of these, you will have to knock out both pilots or critically damage the aircraft. Maximum speed is just over 1,000 miles an hour, 1,063 miles per hour. Turn time of 36 seconds, as you can see, not so good, although the turn time on the stat card is actually wings level using the rudder, so that doesn't really give a great idea of its actual turn fight performance. Rate of climb 120 meters per second, not quite as good as the MiG-19, but it is still incredibly good. This thing can get to space very fast. Now, how much does it cost to get in terms of RP? 390,000 RP, not the most expensive aircraft in the game actually. The most expensive is the G91Y. G91Y costing 400,000. Bit excessive there. I don't really see why it's that expensive, but nonetheless, this is 390,000 RP. In terms of weaponry, your fixed gun is a 20mm JM61A1 Vulcan cannon. Rotary cannon, very powerful. You also then have the capability to mount some sidewinders and additional armaments. I'm not going to go over a huge amount of armaments, but I will cover the ones that I think are worth noting. So first off, the rocket pods. 76 Mighty Mouse rockets in 4 rocket pods mounted under the wings. And as you can see, that's quite a lot of firepower. This could be fairly useful for tank RB, although I would be very careful with attacking, especially with the new radar functionality on a lot of SPAAs. Bombs. This is your secondary bomb payload. First off, you can carry, I believe it is 7 500 pounds. These are the 5 750 pound bombs that you can carry. And I believe these can actually take out bases. I've seen people in game rushing a base with the T2, knocking it out, and I believe it's this payload that can do that. So if you did, for whatever reason, want to use this fighter aircraft as a bomber, feel free, take that payload and go do it. Now also speed, I did a brief test flight. I didn't quite go up to maximum altitude. I only went up to about 35,000 feet. Then I dived from there and I was able to get up to about Mach 1.48. So not too slow, not quite the max speed, but it is damn close, very close to the max speed in fact. And of course at higher altitudes, this would actually be around Mach 1.6 actually at the higher map levels if you did that in level flight. So certainly quite interesting there for sure. Now quickly looking at the camos. Standard camouflage, obviously, there it is. You got the orange rudder, the orange nose section, bits of orange, and just basically a grey camouflage. This is the blue impulse camouflage of the Blue Impulse Aerobatics team. This aircraft was actually part of the Blue Impulse Aerobatics team for quite a long run, back when it was sort of the main training aircraft in the Japanese Air Force. And this is just the standard bi-colour camouflage. Very nice paint scheme here. Standard military camouflage that you would see, not a training one, not an aerobatics team one, a standard military in combat camouflage that you would usually see. Anyway though, now that we've covered all that sort of stuff, let's get into what you want to see, the actual gameplay in the aircraft. Now this first game, I put this one first because I know it's the one that everyone's going to be complaining about in the comments. Main reason being, I kill enemy aircraft on their airfield. Why do I do this? Well, this is at a point in the game where, in fact, it is me alone on my team, And before I killed that MiG-19, it was me versus 5 of them. Luckily for me, I killed the MiG-19, and the last few of them are at the airfield. 2 MiG-19s taking off. I go in, so here's this guy here. He comes on, I fire at him, critical. The other MiG-19, he starts firing, he doesn't hit me, he then crashes. So that's one of them out. 2 enemy aircraft on the runway, take them both out. 2 more MiGs, take them both out. That is 2 more enemies off the field. 1 more is still alive, this being the MiG-19 I criticaled. He does go down. So effectively, I've taken a 1 versus 5 situation, and apart from that one other MiG-19 crashing, I've actually been able to switch that around and give myself the victory. So it is controversial killing people on the airfield, but in certain situations I feel it is okay and it's a good tactical decision. So I was fairly happy with this. This was actually my first game in the T2, and certainly a game I was not disappointed with. Now this next clip is sort of a dogfight clip. Now this aircraft, as I said, not a dogfighting aircraft. The only reason I'm doing this is because here's the last enemy on his team. He's stalling out, he's just trying to get away, and I thought, you know what, I'll give sort of turn fighting a go. And I got in a position where I was stalled out, used the rudder to get the nose down, and I was able to use the cannon to just rip him to shreds. And as you can see, his wing went off, that was him dead, and that's the end of the game. And funnily enough, Mike Goes Boom was also in this game, and I believe I actually scored higher than him, despite only having 1 kill, so pretty good stuff there. But nonetheless, a very satisfying kill there. I was fairly happy with that one. Next up, this game. I believe this is the highest scoring game in this video, 4 kills. Obviously, it's not great, it's not an ace game. Most people will probably have videos with ace games, all that sort of stuff. I am personally not a huge jet player, but I can play somewhat decently, and I do enjoy playing them from time to time. Anyway though, in this game you've already seen me kill a MiG-19 with an air-to-air missile. Now I am killing one with the cannon, so pretty damn decent there. It is worth noting the air-to-air missiles, these are AIM-9Es, they're the ones I'm currently carrying. They're the new version of the AIM-9 that was added in 1.87. Generally it's just more maneuverable and I believe a bit faster than the AIM-9B. This does also have access to the AIM-9B. AIM-9B is a tier 3 modification, the first air-to-air missile you can research. The AIM-9E is a tier 4 mod. This is the last one you can research. So tier 3, tier 4, 2 types of air-to-air missile. The AIM-9B is decent, but effectively if the enemy target turns even a tiny bit, you're probably not going to be able to hit it. Anyway though, moving on. Using the cannon again in this little clip, F100, he decides to head on. I fire some shots, I roll underneath all of his, and, you know, I knock him out, which was definitely a kill I was fairly happy with. Generally being a more casual jet player, not really playing jets much, when I get a cool kill like that, I just generally am fairly happy with it, so certainly pretty good. A Mitsubishi T2, I get the missile lock, I'm waiting to get close just so that he doesn't get the missile warning too early. If he gets it too early, he might escape the missile, so I waited until I got close enough, fired the missile, and obviously it went right up into the back of his aircraft and gave me a kill. Now as you can see here, I did just also kill another Mitsubishi T2, but this time using the cannon. The cannon is very powerful, and as I'm about to show a landing, haven't showed any landings in this video so far, just to demonstrate, this does have the braking parachute, very useful. This thing slows you down very quickly, as is its job. And if you remember, when I did my initial devlog video on the T2, I did point out that the parachute sort of hatch was open in the back on one of the devlog pictures, and it wasn't mentioned that the brake parachute would be a feature. So I did sort of predict this in my video, and it is really good to see it added. I didn't expect it would actually be added so soon. I thought it would be something in the future a bit further down the line. Here's another T2 kill. I get the missile lock on, but it's a little bit close. He starts pulling Gs. I move up, and yeah, pilot snipe. And the funny thing is, you do need to knock out both pilots to do that. So I reckon my shots went sort of straight through the cockpit and knocked them both out. Now, you wanted a missile kill? Here's a missile kill in this game. Get it locked on a CL-13. He is chasing another T2, completely tunnel visioning, and kaboom, he is out. And that is another kill for me. Certainly missile kills are fairly fun, not the most common considering that even the AIM-9E can be dodged fairly easily, but nonetheless pretty fun. Last enemy alive in the game. I do try and pull up and hit him, and doesn't quite go to plan. I completely miss, but then in the second run in, I get the shots on target, hit him, and get me a final kill. 3-kill game there, pretty damn good. And that was a victory. So generally I'm having a lot of fun with this aircraft. Unfortunately, due to the amount of people spamming out the F40 Sabre Premium and this, you are finding that basically the matchmaking is just T2s and F40 Sabres. So it is mixed games galore. You have Japan versus Japan all the time, and with other nations just randomly thrown in. And as you can see, this airfield on Afghanistan seems to have a little bug where you jump up and down. Although this game, I killed a T2, and here's actually a fairly good demonstration of the radar targeting. You have a radar that shows you where stuff is, but also you can lock, and it will give you a lead indicator. Do note, though, the lead indicator is not 100% accurate. You will need to make adjustments. It's the same for SPAAs with their radar lead indicator. It's sort of a rough guide, but you need to make adjustments, and it's not the most accurate at longer ranges. Although certainly I did find it incredibly useful for actually helping out getting used to how much lead you should put on new guns. For example, the Vulcan cannon, getting used to that gun, a rough guide in the form of the lead indicator did actually really help with getting used to that gun. Anyway though, the T2, finishing up the video there, sort of last thoughts on it, I think it is a very fun airplane. Certainly not a turn fighter. You will have seen 1 or 2 cases in this video where I did do such. I wouldn't advise it too much. First, your sort of first course of action should be to boom and zoom, use the missiles. Really what you can do is just sneak around the edge of the map and get behind the enemy. Use the radar to know where they are before they know where you are. Obviously they might have radar, but nonetheless the radar is an incredible help, and if you use it to its sort of fullest, it will be a really useful tool in game to sort of give you an advantage over the enemy players. Anyway though, the T2, brilliant aircraft. I do enjoy it very much. I will probably be showing it on stream quite a bit for the next month, and probably also maybe in another video. Let me know if you want to see another video on it, and I can gather some more footage and maybe even get some better gameplay to show in another video. Anyway though, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider smashing the like button, maybe even subscribe to the channel for more 1.87 content. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.